the rear end, sprung front end, and as I say, the modern to the Bedford. If you want to go back for some of you older blokes, you know, I see there's a few old farts out there, a Bedford, or a Ford Thames, for goodness sake, a Thames, for goodness sake, or an Isuzu or a Hino for the more modern person in the world. There we go, thank you for that. It beautifully turned out too, the Ransom, Sims and Jeffries. Steam truck, steam wagon, whatever you would like to call it, several names means the same thing. Now, oh hello Priscilla, you precious little thing you. Did Mummy let it out, did she Phil? Oh right, did we embarrass her? Who's going to clean the mud off the wheels? Have a look at this little thing, Priscilla. Again, model is our theme, and here is the perfect example of that. I'm not talking about Philip as a model, don't worry about that. I'm talking about the engine. So there we go. Everything's similar to how a normal traction engine would be, other than it's chain driven. That's a little bit different, but the boiler configuration, we've got our cylinder up here, we've got our relief valves, connecting rods, slides, the whole box and dice, coal fired, or what are we on, coal? Yeah, we're on a bit of coal, we won't talk about that, that's politically incorrect. So there we go, Priscilla, model traction engine scaled down, we've got our tender on the back, usually where we have our wood in here, Phil's got his backside. And we've got our drawbar pin on the back where we could hook anything on. In fact, they had a little scarifier hooked behind this out here yesterday, and it was quite amazing. The scarifier dwarfed the engine, and the little engine was pulling it quite nicely. Okay, tiny. And this engine's got quite a bit of history. The late Max Rogers had this engine, Tony Rowe up there now. And but Tiny originally was a road roller converted to a traction engine. So if you have a look at the other Avalon that we started out the parade with, this was formerly a road roller converted to a little traction engine. Quite a bit of history. Right about here where this engine is now, we used to connect the rope up to it. And we'd have all the kids line up after the grand parade and they'd try and pull the engine backwards. It was quite funny. We'd let it roll back down the hill a bit and they'd just give the throttle a snig and pull all the kids over. Of course, we can't do that anymore. Morrison, Blackburn, Slater and Gordon. But guess what? Next rally, I'm going to reintroduce it. Bugger it. So we're going to have a bit of fun. The fun police have got to stop. Because you've got to be able to do this. Now, this is young Mr. Ridley, and he did this as a school project. He had to make something at school, and the young fellow with his father has put this together, and it kicks over rather nicely. He's got Mum up there with him as well. With the umbrella is not part of the standard equipment on this tractor, I might add. And there we go, and it's a nice work of art. He's featured in the Tom magazine, I see, in last one. This one, yeah, sorry. There we go. I've only heard about that just in the last 24 hours. There you go. So there we go, this young fella, school project. That'd blow him away, wouldn't it, when you walked into the teacher and said, where am I going to plonk this on? For show and tell. So there we go, ticking away quite nicely. And I was going to say his father's a bit of a tinkerer, and I think the young fella's going to be not far behind him. Roger is the name of the tractor. And there it goes, chopping away up the hill quite nicely. Righto, Bill Smith, Fowler traction engine, 7 horse, the Yellow Peril. No, it's not. And 1907, 9, I'm talking about the engine, not Bill now. Don't look at Bill, I'm not talking about the age of Bill. I'm talking about the age of the engine. It's well old, you know, it's over 100-year-old. Celebrated its birthday here last year. And I hope I'm still running as well as that when I'm 100, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say. And the way she's ticking away there, I think she'll be here long after all of us are gone too. Hopefully it will. And be still doing the same thing. Demonstrating a bygone era. We've got our people moving on the back there with a couple of passengers in the back, which is what it's all about. Another John Fowler traction engine coming on by. Out of Ampere Theatre, the Bucknells, David Bucknell and family over there at Ampere, the John Fowler compound. And compound engine, I suppose the easiest way I can explain a compound is, two ways I'll explain it. It makes use of the steam more efficiently, or uses it twice, but the easiest way to explain it is compound steam engine is like supercharging or turbocharging a diesel or a petrol engine. Just gives you a bit more bang for your buck. It develops a bit more power and a bit more torque. And look, we can really get into the nitty-gritty of it all. There's a high pressure button that you hit, and you can hit it to give it an extra surge of power up on top there. And in fact, if you hit the high, can you give the high pressure a hit for us? You'll see. There you go, that's the high pressure button. That gives it an extra. Now, you're using a lot more steam when you hit that button, the high pressure lever, but you can see what the result is. It's ticking away there. If you had a heavy load on that engine and you were pulling up a hill and she was starting to really slow down and your boiler pressure's up, you just reach up and hit that. It's like a multi-power on a tractor, on a Fergie that I was talking about earlier, something along those lines. Supercharging or turbocharging, I suppose, is the easiest way I can explain it simply in a traction engine. And the Fowler there, Antipodes going by, Basie Lady. And what a story this engine is. Originally, this is a road loco, heavy haulage unit. This is the stuff that you see floating around, the big heavy haulage. Well, this is the heavy haulage of yesteryear. And owned by the late T.K. Brown, purchased by the Miles family from just out of Christchurch in New Zealand, flying across the Tasman for about 8 years, I suppose. Twice a year, the late Goldsmith, they restored this engine, and about 2000, around 1999, 2000, this engine was put back into service like it is today. And what a magnificent story. She's just been over to Mount Gambier last week, and it's also been to Sovereign Hill in recent times. I think the Miles will spend more time on an aeroplane than they do at home at the family farm. They're beef and sheep farmers in New Zealand. And Rodney Miles up there, and Noel somewhere around too. This is their latest project that they bought about 3 years ago, Rodney? 3 or 4 years ago you bought this? 5, probably a bit out. 5 years ago, again, another project that was really scrap metal, and here we have it, flying backwards and forwards across the Tasman twice a year. She's not far off going. So the Ruston Proctor, so they'll have another engine there running around as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must thank you very, very much for coming out today. The day has not been a great day. On behalf of myself, Trevor Oliver, and all the committee here at Lake Goldsmith, I hope you've had a great day, even though the weather hasn't been kind to us. I hope to sincerely see you all coming back here for years to come. And I hope you can come back tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will be finer. If not, our next rally features shearing and wool and bits and pieces, so that'll be another big rally. We're also closing in on our 100th rally. We are the oldest steam rally in the world. We are the Southern Hemisphere's premier steam rally. And we hope to see you coming back here for years to come. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.